WNT9 Talk Radio.
Here we go, y'all.
WNT9 Talk Radio, and we have a powerful sister with us on the line today, Yolanda ROZIER. Yolanda ROZIER. Pardon me, sis. Yolanda ROZIER. She got a juicy one for us today, so I'm nervous. How you doing, sis?
I'm well, thank you. Thank you for asking.
Now, there's a post that I came across and on your social media page, and I felt it very, very moving and very inspiring. I know you have it already on deck. Do you mind reading it for the listeners?
Not at all. The post was for Yada, please keep your hands on me, one on my shoulder and the other on my mouth. And I got that from Ephesians 4:29, which says, let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. And where I got that from was I was very upset. Somebody said something that just upset me. And instead of me using my emotions, which we can be very emotional people, I needed y'all to keep his hand on me and also don't keep his hand on my mouth. So that's where I got that from.
Wow.
Because you never want to speak any corruption because you end up speaking it to yourself.
Wow. That's huge. That's huge. One hand on the shoulder, one over the mouth. Nobody is saying that. That's something that you just don't hear. That is probably the most, oh my goodness, that is probably the most powerful thing I've heard in all of my interviews, to be honest. Not that I discredit anyone, any other interviews, but that's just powerful. I come across so many other pages on social media, and so many people are just expressing things that really give no inspiration. So there are plenty of debates going on, plenty of fights, even family feuds. And I'm talking about the religious, the so-called sanctified and all of that, and nobody's pausing. I've even seen some things on the news where, there's been some ugliness going on. So I really, really appreciate you standing on your square and making a post, putting a post like that out there.
Well, I use my social media very sparingly. I usually, put up stuff that make people either think, laugh, or feel good. I don't use it to get people to go back and forth with me. I'm not the type of person who likes to produce confrontation. I'm not a confrontational person at all. I let Yah be true and every man a liar. That word that I follow is an instruction. And if I don't follow it myself, then I'm no better than, the next person that's on there embarrassing themselves, pretty much embarrassing our people. Our people, we are emotional people, and, we all know that. But we can't let our emotions rule us because, as you know, the media looks at us as a whole. So if we running around here just on straight, raw emotions, that's the confusion you're going to see that you do see, unfortunately. And we have to step back and follow those instructions, and we have to let Yah speak for us. And so I'm speaking from experience because I was always one to blow off the handle, say whatever, as a teenager, when I was, away from my parents, I was, cussing and saying whatever I want because I thought I was big and bad enough to do whatever it is I wanted. But not knowing there was a calling on my life. And I had to humble myself and I had to be taken back a few pegs. And Yah had to show me who he was in my life. Me going through the things that I've gone through, I don't, put it on me. I put it on the Most High. And he showed me so many things and he didn't have to, but I paid attention to the calling on my life. So therefore, I'm going to do, what the instructions say to do. It's a blueprint for us all.
Right.
whether we know it or not, that we are the chosen, we are the people of the Bible. A lot of us don't know that, and we refuse to believe it. But I believe it, and I have to follow it. So me asking for help also, me asking for Yah to put his hand on my shoulder and over my mouth is a cry for help.
Wow.
From my Father.
Wow. Powerful. It really takes a whole lot of humbleness for someone to actually realize that, you know, they need to chill with the mouth, you know. It's, you know, and when you do speak, you know, it should be something that's, you know, putting life into someone or something, you know. Again, I don't think it could be said enough. Wow. You know, for me, I'm telling you, I do these interviews and I hear people's stuff. Now, I won't, you know, repeat and put people's stuff out there, but, you know, the off-air conversations are incredible. And to the individual, to them, it's not, you know, they're speaking to me as if this is what's going on air. Nah, that's not going on air. You know, the back and forth and you know, the drama. You know, a lot of people have accepted that drama sells, and well, who's trying to sell something? You know, we're trying to inspire each other. You know,
right.
So again,
and we all have to grow.
There it is.
And if I tear you down, I'm not growing.
There it is.
If I tear you down, I'm not teaching anybody anything. You know, I ask myself this question all the time because it means a lot to me. People always run around here saying, oh, I don't care what people think of me. But you should. You should care what your brothers and sisters think of you.
Absolutely.
You know, what fills your heart? Put that question mark right there. Boom. What fills your heart? Because out of the abundance of the heart, you know, your mouth speaks it. Whatever is in your heart, your mouth is going to speak it. If you got a critical heart, you're going to have a critical tongue. If you're self-righteous, you're going to have a judgmental tongue. If you're bitter, you're going to have a bitter tongue. If you're ungrateful, you're going to have a grumbling tongue. You're going to always be murmuring and grumbling about something. But if you have a loving heart, you will produce a gracious tongue. If you have a faithful heart, you'll have a truthful tongue. And if you have a peaceful heart, you'll be able to reconcile.
There it is.
You'll be able to reconcile. And if you're able to have a trusting heart, you'll be able to encourage somebody else. And I'm big on encouraging because somebody always encouraged me. There was always somebody there to encourage me. You know, I've had a lot of wonderful people in my life that have encouraged me. So I wouldn't do my ancestors any justice if I continued to just be emotional and said whatever I wanted to say.
You said your ancestors. See, now that's another thing. Nobody is really even considering the fact that nobody's thinking about. People don't even think about their own mother and father, you know, own grandmother, grandfather. You know, people don't even think about their kids. They just saying whatever, you know. So that is very powerful as well, you know, to be thoughtful and considerate of those before you. That is very, very, very powerful. And I am so happy to hear you say what you're saying, you know, because I haven't talked to you since like high school, you know, that you know, so to hear this, you know, and come from the little town we from, not too many people was finding themselves, you know, and so, you know, way back when, you know, I made a transition and I, you know, did my spiritual rebirth, it was just lonely in the town, you know. It was like, you know, it was a couple of people, and then, you know, for the most part, and then people expect to have the same relationships with you. It's like, well, I don't, you know, you know, my mind state is totally different. I might look the same, but you know what I'm saying? Like I'm somewhere else, and you know, I don't want to do you any harm. So it might be better that we, I just go ahead that way.
Right.
So again, it's just beautiful. And I will say though, a lot more people are beginning to wake up, and a lot more people are beginning to, have a transformation. I mean, I get calls every day, text messages, emails, and people are happy and excited to actually be able to identify with me and say, hey, guess what? I'm a minister in the church. Hey, guess what? I'm born again. Hey, guess what? I took my shahada. Guess what? So from all denominations, across the board, it's just a beautiful thing, But again, I haven't heard anyone put that or seen anyone put that out there the way you have put it out there. So I definitely appreciate that. That's a win for us on the good side.
Well, I've never been a yes man, I've never been one to just do everything that everybody else did. I always ask questions, and that's how I've gotten to the point that I've gotten to, because my prayer was always, well, I need to see the truth. Why am I doing this? I was a deaconess in the church, and my question was, what am I doing this for? What is this about?
Right.
Why am I here? Who is this glorifying? I didn't read this. This doesn't tell me to glorify that. This doesn't tell me to glorify JC. It says something totally different. So when I asked questions, I didn't get the answers that I needed. So I had to remember who my father was. And I had to go to the Most High, and he set me on a narrow path. See, everybody wants to do what everybody else does. Right. It doesn't say to follow the wide path. It says follow the narrow path.
Speak that truth.
And everybody wants to be all over the place and doing, this is just the way it is. Unfortunately, it's not. If you knew who your father was and what he was about, you would think differently. But nobody wants to be common. Everybody wants to be, seen in the starlights. Everybody wants to be like everybody else. I'm not one of those people. I never have been. I've always been a plain Jane.
Plain Jane, huh? Plain Jane with a
modest plain Jane
with a big message. That's powerful.
It comes from my father, and I'm grateful for it, and I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed at all. But one thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to go back and forth with anybody about what I believe, because it is written.
Powerful.
I found favor, with Yah, and favor with man.
Now, Yolanda, you can't see me right now, but you putting a smile on my face. You putting a smile on my face.
Hallelujah. All praises.
It's a beautiful thing. This is a beautiful thing, for real.
All
this is
praises.
A beautiful thing. Wow. I'm I wasn't having a great day, but I'm having an awesome time right now. And,
hallelujah. That's my father.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. Beautiful. I mean, I've actually shared, your posts with quite a few people, and I'm like, hey, listen, we're gonna be talking about this, on the pod. We're gonna be having a little conversation about this, because, the sister, she ain't just put it up there. She got some detail behind it. It's some power coming behind it. So,
absolutely.
People definitely, I'm sure, it'll affect other people the same way that it had a powerful effect on me.
Well, I pray that it does. We have to be prepared to get ours. And to get ours, we have to be honest and true. We can't get it by having a beguiling mouth. We can't get it from, being mean and being tore down. I know everybody's been through things. I know people have been through things in their lives that would just, just shame the devil. But we go through things for a reason, and we have to pay attention to what we go through and why we go through those things. And we have to remember where we come from. We have to remember where we come from. But if you come from a a not so great place, that doesn't mean that you have to go on and be not so great, because you can be great.
Right.
You can be great.
That's real. That's real. Again, you exercise a lot of courage, and like I said, it can't be said enough. And it might seem to quite a few people that I'm on a wagon, but I'm just I'm actually raising up your arm right now. That's you speaking like a champion. And it's just not enough of it. It's just not enough of it. So,
I agree.
I'm gonna be pushing this interview. This segment is gonna stay in rotation for quite a while. I can't wait to actually go ahead and put it out there.
Well, I got a lot of other brothers and sisters with a passion, and they have a word to speak also. So just say the word. Just say the word. Because I got sisters that can spit. I got brothers, I got elders that can spit, and they know what they're talking about. And you won't be dissatisfied.
Beautiful. That is a beautiful thing. So you surround yourself around like-minded individuals.
I have no choice.
Beautiful thing. You do have a choice. You do have a choice, and I appreciate the choice you've made. Because we could be there are a lot of people, and I'm telling you from doing these interviews, which was inspired by me just being in the streets and talking to several people. I'm like, I might as well go ahead and start recording some of these conversations.
Right. But you know why I say I don't have a choice? It's because I asked for this. I asked for the truth. And any other way I tried to go, I was drowning, and I hated myself. And so I don't have a choice. I have no choice but to speak the truth. Whether people want to hear it or not, whether they want to believe it or not.
Right.
I'm going to let you know what I know a couple times, and then after that, I have to shake the dust off my shoes, and I have to keep going. We can't, let things weigh us down.
I'm loving it. There's again, like I'm saying, there's a lot of, apples that fall off the tree that are just not edible. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm loving it. This is what I'm built for. This is what, I'm all about. So I can never get enough of this. Never get enough of positivity.
Well, I'm grateful to you also, brother, for doing this. I had no idea. When you sent me the link, I didn't even catch on. And then the other day I said, wait a minute, let me hit this link. So I started listening to, some of the other sisters that you have, interviewed. And, a lot of it is powerful, and so, I commend you. And, I thank the Most High for you doing this. You keep on pushing, because we got to get it out there. A lot of our people have something to say, and this platform right here is a wonderful platform, especially from somebody that's coming, like you said, from a small town. We come from a small town in Passaic, so we got to get that word out there, and this is refreshing. It really, really is, and I thank you.
Absolutely, I thank you. A lot of people do want to be heard, and most often are not being heard. So,
right.
I definitely, each person, not everyone, but there's a lot of people that I talk to that should, I'm like, wow, they should be doing the same thing, something similar. Some people have their own little show and stuff like that, and so I would inspire you as well to, y'all go ahead and plug in and turn the mic on, turn it on, and then just let people hear, because there's still a whole lot of people out there who won't actually, they're so humble that they won't actually even, make the phone call,
Yeah.
So they'll sit there and listen, they'll definitely sit there and listen. So even for those.
Well, I had to think about it, because this is not my thing.
Oh, it's your thing. It's your thing. It's your thing.
I'm laughing because I say that and everybody says that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So we gonna flash back a little bit. When you out of all the kids in high school, you stood up there and you actually blew my mind at the time when you did this show that you did. What's her name again? The artist Shaka
Gwen
Khan.
Guthrie. No, I did Gwen Guthrie.
Oh, okay.
I did Ain't Nothing Going On But the Rent.
Oh man. Wow. Yeah. See, now when you did that again, that just had an effect. I was just like, what? I never even saw you in that light. Like she gonna get up there, she gonna get on stage and do that. What? You serious? And you did that thing too, and I was like, wow, she's not playing, so you don't
That
have
was fun.
You don't have this fun. hey, that word is fun.
Mm-hmm.
That word is fun. Especially you already got your armor on, and you know that ain't no need for the debating.
Absolutely.
My uncle told me years ago. I seen him out. We used to be out trying to raise some souls. I came across him. I forgot where he was at, but I seen my uncle. Didn't expect to see him, and he, I'm like, my uncle ain't seen me since, I used to drink. So here I am out there, got my scripture and everything, and non-judgmental. He walked up to me and said, "Are you happy?" And I was like, "What?" I'm thinking, he gonna be like, "Man, come on, man. You know what I mean? What you doing out here?" He was just like, "Are you happy?" Nothing about the word, that word at least. Nothing about the scripture. He was talking to me about something very, very, very powerful, and it was my happiness. So no matter what an individual is in, no matter what we accept, no matter what we believe, there must be a degree of happiness, because without it, everything you're saying is really offbeat. We have to find happiness in what we're doing. So
absolutely. And I know you want to wrap this up in a minute or two, but I just want to say this, and I say this to my sisters out there. I had did just a little segment, and I had posted it on a YouTube page. I don't even know if it's still there or not, but it was called "I'm Fine." We as Black women, as Hebrew women, we continually, when someone asks us how we're doing, we always say, "Oh, I'm fine." You need some help? "Oh, I'm fine." Do you need anything? "Oh, I'm fine." And when we continually do that, and we know on the inside that we're not, we're speaking corruption and damnation to ourselves. We have to speak that thing. And I'm not saying run around and tell everybody, "Oh, it's me. I got problems." That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we have to speak that thing to the Most High. He knows it, but he wants us to bring it to him. He wants us to cry out to him. So if you're not fine, don't say you're fine. Because you're telling yourself that I'm fine, and you're hurting inside. You're dark on the inside. You're hurting. You're in pain. You're depressed. You're all these different things that we try to sit on, and it's still seeping out. But we got to get those things out. I'm sure a lot of us have very good friends. I know I do anyway. I a lot of women don't have friends because a lot of us don't know how to be friends. But I have a great support system, and not my friends. Not all my friends believe what I believe,
right?
But they still support me and they love me. And if I'm down, they're there helping to lift me up.
And that right there. That right there is the magic. When you can, still have relationships, with people who don't believe what you believe in regards to the Most High, in regards to religion, etc. there is still a belief system of love. There are still people who love to invest a friendship.
Right.
And
20 plus years.
You know, that's just an undeniable force. You know, I do hear people always say, "Well, yeah, we not talking no more," and this and that and that, and that stuff like that just breaks my heart. I'm like, wow, I don't realize how much time is being wasted. You know, with all the little crap. You know, and for the most part, it don't even be worth, you know, the argument. So, I'm gonna go ahead and give you a round of applause for having a beautiful support system.
You know? Hallelujah.
Sis,
give him all the praise.
I'm definitely excited to have you on the line today. I definitely want to bring you back because you did say some things that would actually give us room to, you know, talk on a different subject. But you definitely again also take some time to. Don't take no time. Just go ahead and start, you know, pressing record because don't even think about it. You didn't think about the lip sync show, so just go ahead and this is something you can do. It's in your blood. You got this. So, you know, we're gonna work on it though. If you need anything, let me know. I got you. Don't even worry about it. You can consider me part of your support team now. You know,
thank you.
You know, log me in. Because we was good friends back in the day, you know.
Yes, we were.
I was in that show with you now. Don't forget now. You know?
Yes, we had good conversations back then. I remember. I do.
Yeah. So we definitely gonna stay in touch. Anything you want to say to the listeners before we get out of here? You coming back though, right? We're gonna have you back on the show.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's peace.
Absolutely.
That's peace.
Well, I'm gonna leave your listeners with this: that death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. So if you love death, you're going to eat the fruit of death. If you love life, you'll eat the fruit of life. I choose life.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that one. Listen, powerful words. Really, really appreciate you. Yolanda Rozier. You see I got that name right?
Yes.
Yolanda Rozier. Hold on. Do not hang up, sis.
Okay.
WNT9 Talk Radio.
Here we go, y'all.
WNT9 Talk Radio.
Here we go, y'all.